Hello and welcome to Live in the Hive, the only online magazine show dedicated to theatre across Greater Manchester. I'm Michelle Eagleton and this is our first show of 2023. So a big happy new year to all of you, whether you're watching on our I Love Manchester Facebook page, that iconic brand dedicated to community and culture around our fair city, or maybe you're watching on our very own Live in the Hive Facebook page. We are here every Sunday at 8 o'clock, bringing you the latest news and interviews from the theatre world. And we're kicking off 2023 with a bit of a bang in the shape of this guy. Well, we're going to be joined shortly by Brendan Murphy. Now, Brendan is starring in the one-man production of 90s series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer as you've never seen it before. Buffy Revamped. It's heading our way very, very soon. It sounds absolutely fantastic. He's going to be telling me all about that. Plus, we have got a full-on rundown of what is coming to the stage in Manchester in 2023. We're going to be picking out a couple of the shows to watch out for, whether it's the start of the year or towards the end. So lots and lots of things to stay tuned for tonight here on Live in the Hive. I hope you had a very good Christmas. Did you go and see Panto? I did. Oh, yes, I did. And I also saw lots of other productions as well. Don't forget, we've still got The Lion King here in Manchester at the Palace Theatre. That is running till April. Can you believe it? If you want to get in touch with me every week, then don't hesitate. I want to hear your stories too. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's at Live in the Hive 21. I'll tell you more about that later, but let's kick off the show tonight with the wonderful Brendan Murphy. I told you he is starring in a fantastic one-man production. It's wowed audiences in Edinburgh. It's now going on tour, and I got to catch up with him just before Christmas to find out what it's going to be like when he comes to the Lowry in Salford. But first, let's take a look at the trailer of the show and what we can expect.
Nearly 20 years have passed since Sunnydale's Hellmouth was sealed. Tonight, that changes. Tonight, we wake the dead.
All 7 years of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in 70 action-packed minutes.
Featuring
Xander, Willow,
Giles,
Cordelia, this guy,
Angel,
Drusilla,
and, of course,
Buffy,
and
Spike.
All right then. How hard can it be?
I've got to say, I love the premise of this show that you have got on the road, Brendan. I am a big 90s girl, loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this is kind of a compact view of the whole series, right?
Absolutely. The plan is all 7 seasons, all 144 episodes in an hour and 10, 70 minutes, rattle through them, all told through the eyes of Spike.
Mad! Are you crazy, Brendan?
Well, it's a lot of fun to do. The fan base is there and they're legion. You know, it's a real cult following. So it's been a load of fun to go out and do these shows and meet all these people that have so much love for the original show.
Oh God, it was massive, Buffy, and I think it still has, like you say, that resonance to the people who were around that time, and even people who are new to it. But I've got to say, you must have been a fan, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember watching it the first time round. I was probably on the younger end of the scale. I think I was about 10 when it first came out.
Oh, bless you.
So it was more of an aspirational thing for me, this idea of what it would be like to be in your teens, to be going through these things. And, you know, with Buffy, the whole, you know, the main sort of tagline is when high school is hell. And, you know, you see the physical manifestation of that thing. All your sort of fears become true and they're shown in demons and ghouls and whatnot. But yeah, it's been really interesting watching it for probably about the third time round now when I was writing the show, because it's actually really all stands up still, but there are certain elements that you think, oh, okay, if they were making the show now, perhaps they wouldn't have put quite that character plot point in. But yeah, it's been a load of fun, to be honest.
But where do you start when you are writing this? Because trying to condense 144 episodes into a production that's like 70 minutes long, that's a challenge.
It is. It's. I suppose you can't do it all. When I first sort of made my original draft script, it was about 3 hours long, and that was I'd already sifted through so much, and this was really about as short as I could make it. But then we returned and got the old editing scissors out, chopped it down, and found I think the best sort of route through all 7 seasons. While still giving that sense of comedy and the relationships, and being able to focus on all of the core episodes that mean so much to people.
And you are playing, let me get this right, every single part, aren't you? So you've got it's through the eyes of Spike, but when we had a look at the trailer just before, you've got a lot of wigs going on there.
There's certainly a lot of wigs. Yeah, I like to think that we've managed to get most of the main characters in there. Some of them have fallen by the wayside, but it's all told through the eyes of Spike. So it's his interpretation of these characters, which means that we have a lot of scope to sort of poke fun, and it's all from a playful, loving place, but also through the the voice of that sort of punk rock Cockney vampire.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, this is obviously taking me back to my youth and the 90s era. Does it take back the audience members? Do you find some of them wanting to get involved and dress up as characters from Buffy?
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely encourage that. I mean, a lot of people are turning up wearing their Buffy t-shirts, they've got their Buffy tattoos, there's people coming dressed up as their favorite characters, and it's just fantastic, really. The fandom is there, and it's very sort of real, I think.
And do you think that's why it is still so popular? It's got that nostalgia element, and like you said, I feel like some bits of it still resonate in the youth today.
Oh, definitely. We play a lot of the music of the time, things that were featured in the show, also the sort of bands that were coming out around that time, late 90s, early noughties, sort of female-led rock and indie groups. There's so many great bands around that time. And when we do in the show go into the Bronze, Sunnydale's, premier nightclub, people are going wild. They absolutely love it. I think there's a lot of call for the local Indian rock nights in whatever towns we're stopping off. The local indie disco will be getting a lot of extra customers that night.
Well, there's quite a few indie places in Manchester. They need to get on that, because you're coming in January. You're coming for one night only on the 22nd of January. I feel you should be here longer, Brendan.
Well, we're doing 2 nights, but one of them it's sold out. In 2 days after putting it on.
Love it.
It sold out, so we stuck another night on. There's a matinee and an evening show. So I don't know. I mean, Manchester clearly has a huge love for Buffy. Looking forward to getting up there.
Definitely. Do you know what? Wouldn't it be ace though if Sarah Michelle Gellar ever turned up at one of your shows? Do you ever get anything on the Twittersville or social media? Have you had anything from one of the cast members, Brendan?
I had a little bit of a chat with Tom Lenk, who's a fantastic actor and performer, and he played Andrew in the original series. He's a phenomenal character, and he was doing a show up in Edinburgh, and he very kindly sort of pushed a little bit of promo my way, sort of Buffy fans that were coming to see him that would then go, oh yeah, we can go and get our kicks at another show as well.
That is really good.
Yeah,
we still need to work on Sarah though, don't we? That would be epic.
I think it's only a matter of time.
I hear she watches live in the Hive, so it could be happening.
Really? Okay. Well, so if you're watching, I'll save a seat for you. Might get a little bit mobbed by the audience there, but the seats
might
there.
throw in 2 seats, maybe her and
Oh,
Freddie.
sure. Yeah, Freddie's allowed to.
Now, you don't just love Buffy, though. I've got to say, you have a real interest in the 90s, even though you were like young in the 90s, because you did Friends, didn't you? So it's Friends, the one with Gunther.
Absolutely. Friend, the one with Gunther. So it's all 10 seasons of Friends as told by Gunther. You can see a theme coming here. But it was so much fun. That was, we started doing that back in 2019. And, it deals with a lot of similar issues, certainly in terms of how important it was in the 90s, how much love there is for the series, even now. And it was great fun to do. So after doing that, I just thought, well, what's next? Move on to something that's been deep in my heart for years and do Buffy.
Oh, it's so exciting. Do you know what? I've got another one you can add to your list, all right?
Oh, yeah?
Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek. Okay. Well, who is the peroxide blonde character there? No, actually, to be honest, I could do with not dyeing my hair blonde after.
Hey, look! You could do it like a double act with me. I could be her.
We could do it, definitely. So I could be Pacey, and Joey, you'd have to go brunette.
No, I'll be the other woman. You know, the blonde one that was.
Course.
Is she called Michelle? Actually, in real life, I think she is. You know, the actress. On the spot
here. I haven't done my research.
Meant to be. We can work on this. This can be obviously a 2024 project. I can see it happening.
Perfect. Bags of time.
Now, have you ever been to the Lowry before and Salford itself?
No, I've never been. I'm really looking forward to it. I did a show a few years back at the Royal Exchange.
Yeah.
I got to spend a Christmas in Manchester. I had a wonderful time. And just really sort of excited to be going up there a couple of times, hopefully get a feel for the place. Any restaurants, cafes, pubs,
you'll love it. The Alchemist is great. We've got the Botanist. It's in the heart of Media City. So you've got the BBC and they'll want you. They'll all be over you, Brendan. You've got ITV on the other side as well. And if you're a bit of a Corrie fan, all you need to do is go across to the water and you can see the Corrie set.
Well, that's it. I'm sorted. Fully booked.
You won't want to leave. And we won't want you to leave because this sounds so good. Honestly, I'm very excited about it because we need fun things like this. And I do like the ones that are just straight the way through because I think the pace just keeps going like that.
Absolutely. No interval here. Just blood, sweat and tears all the way to the end.
You've not corpsed yet, have you? Because it's just you on the stage.
No, well, I mean, there's a little bit of audience interaction. There's a little bit of sort of improv going on there. It's a lot of fun. Nothing's massively derailed the show. But yeah, I'd say come on down. You might even get a chance to be Buffy in the show. No promises, but
my God, I am now my Buffy outfit. I'm going to be there front row on that 22nd, all right?
Well, that's it. Michelle, you're getting on stage. That's what's happening there. Spoiler alert.
I am totally there with bells on. I really do hope that I get the chance to be Buffy. You know what I'm like. I will really do my best to be that on the 22nd of January. Racing down there. It is coming very, very soon. So check that out on the Lowry website if you want to join me there as well. But I did promise tonight that we are going to tell you a few of the nuggets to expect for 2023 when it comes to theatre. So yes, we have got our very own Greater Manchester Theatre News, and this week it is a bit of a special because obviously we are going to highlight a few great productions out there. First one I'm going to mention, though, it's not a theatre production, but it is a great event, especially if you are a fan of Strictly Come Dancing, like I am myself. Yes, the Strictly Live Tour is coming our way very, very soon. It's on this month at the Manchester AO Arena. And look at the lineup. Come on. It's all those stars that you know and love, be it the professionals albeit the celebrities as well. There's Molly Rainford, there's our very own Manchester's Will Mellor, he's there dancing with his partner Nancy Zhu, and of course we have got the champions of Strictly 2022, Hamza and Joita. It is going to be absolutely fabulous, as Craig would say. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this. Keep dancing, as they say, and by goodness, will everybody be dancing off to Manchester's AO Arena to see that one on the 28th and 29th of January. Now, somebody who's got something to dance and sing about is this guy, Chris Lawson. He has got himself a brand new job at the Oldham Coliseum. He actually wowed for years as the artistic director there. They've now made him the theatre's new chief executive. Lots of exciting things to come for Chris in that new role, and lots of new decisions to make as well. Now, the spring season has been announced at the Oldham Coliseum. I've been taking a look at it myself, and I really do recommend this one. It is Daniel Blake. Now, you may have seen the film. Do you remember the film? Well, I've got to say I did. It won loads of awards back in 2016, and this has been adapted now for the stage by Dave Johns. It's a really touching and vital story of how people come together in the face of adversity, and that is what Daniel Blake does. There's nobody there to support him when he needs it. And really, in this day and age, with 14.5 million people living in poverty, it really isn't fiction. It is a reality. Very, very powerful. Go and see it. It is running from the 27th of June until Saturday, the 8th of July this year. A little bit of time, you've got to wait for it, but definitely worth that wait. Now, moving on to something a little bit more lighthearted, and definitely one for the families at the Coliseum. Of course, it's Sing-Alonga Encanto on the 11th of February. Definitely one that all the kids and grown-ups will be racing to see. Yes, it's the tale of the Madrigals, the extraordinary family who live hidden in the mountains of Colombia in a charmed place called the Encanto. If you saw it, the hit film in 2021, now you can sing along. It's going to be brilliant. There's no rules. You can do some fancy dress, audience participation. You've got it all. You're the audience that become the stars. And remember, they definitely don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Anyway, let's move on to another theatre and take a look what the Royal Exchange has in store for 2023. Some brilliant productions there. One of my favourites, though, has to be this one, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Yes, the Pulitzer Prize-winning classic is a turbulent and a brutal comic drama. It is, of course, from the legendary playwright Tennessee Williams, who's behind A Streetcar Named Desire, The Glass Menagerie, and this production is going to be directed by the Royal Exchange Theatre's joint artistic director, Roy Alexander Weiss. He is absolutely fantastic. Definitely one to watch out for on that one. Talking of productions to watch out for, well, this one at the Lowry is going to be a real cracker. It's on from February the 21st to the 25th. And Steel Magnolias, you might remember, was a film in 1989. Can you believe that long ago? Now, it originally was a stage production, and it really is based on a true story. Now, the film adaptation starred Dolly Parton and Julia Roberts. This production stars Harriet Thorpe and a number of brilliant actresses. It's an all-woman cast. Harriet Thorpe, best known for her role as Carol Parkinson, of course, in the British Empire. She was hilarious in that one. You've got Laura Main, who's in Call the Midwife, Diana Vickers from X Factor. Now, she's a star in her own right on the stage. She's been in productions like Dial M for Murder, The Rise and Fall of Little Voice. You've got Lucy Speed there. You'll remember her from The Bill and EastEnders. And a new cast member on the BBC4 programme, The Archers, believe it or not, so you'll know her voice as well. Completing the cast, so you've got Caroline Harker from A Touch of Frost and Elizabeth Iodell from Playboy of the West Indies, all brilliant actresses. This is going to be a great production. If you don't know the story, well, it's a story of 6 women who come together once a week in a small town beauty salon. It's set in America's South, and it's about their friendship faced with highs and lows of love, life, marriage, children, work, you name it. And they really do put the world to rights. Try and catch that one if you can. It's definitely going to be a great production. And finally, it might be a little further afield in Prescott, but let's take a look at Shakespeare North and how it's put itself on the map since opening last year.
2022 has been the most tremendous year here at Shakespeare North Playhouse. We opened in July and the most fantastic things have happened. We've welcomed so many people through the doors, but most importantly, we've been adopted by our community here in Prescott and the Liverpool City region, and we've made this place our home. So here's a sneak peek at some of the things we've been up to in 2022.
Since we opened less than 6 months ago, we've welcomed over 75,000 people through our front doors.
315
performances.
Over 37,000 audience members, and 1 in 5 were Knowsley residents.
4,853 pay what you decide tickets.
90 poets have performed at Itch and Scratch in 2022. What do you think of that?
Over 2,000 young people
Visited us and taken part in workshops and events.
We've sold 3,546 ice creams.
14,000 coffees.
192 heritage tours.
Over 13,000 subscribers to our newsletter. And 21,000 social media followers.
624 Cockpit Circle supporters.
Over 30 education partners.
We've been shortlisted for 5 awards.
The first national portfolio organisation in Knowsley.
1,250 hours volunteered. We couldn't have done any of this without you, without your support and your generosity. So thank you very much. We can't wait to see what happens in 2023, and we can't wait together to be on that journey.
Wow, what an amazing theatre. How gorgeous as well. I've been there myself. Definitely give it a visit if you can. And they have got a brilliant lineup for this year. I'm just going to mention a few of their productions which have caught my eye. And I say productions, they do things differently. You've got one night shows. You've got an evening with Angela Griffith. Now, she has been on our screens recently in Waterloo Road. You might have seen her. I've got to say, it is brilliant now. It is back on our screens, Waterloo Road. And of course, she has done so much TV, radio and theatre over the years. She's going to be interviewed by screenwriter and award-winning beloved children's author Frank Cottrell Boyce. On top of that, you've got Phil Redmond, the bloke from down the road. Now, this is happening on the 16th of February. Now, Phil Redmond, what hasn't he done? He's a real local legend from the Northwest. He's done Hollyoaks, the guy behind Brookside, and of course, created Grange Hill. I think that would be an absolutely insightful evening there. And he's also a Sir. Let's give him his full title. And then we do come to the real productions. And what better to have the Comedy of Errors, more or less. Yes, this is a co-production with Stephen Joseph Theatre. It opens at Shakespeare North Playhouse on Friday, the 3rd of March. It's running until the end of March, and it's based on, of course, William Shakespeare's original text, but it is adapted because you've got that more or less in the brackets. It's going to be the Comedy of Errors, as you may have not seen it before. I definitely think that will be quite a quirky production, and as I say, fitting to have it in Shakespeare North Playhouse, especially as 2023 sees the celebration of the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's first folio publication. What is that, do you say? Well, it's the fact that it's the first collection of Shakespeare's work, which was collated and published back in, get this, 1623. Lots more to come from Shakespeare North over the next 12 months. We'll keep you updated on that and all the other theatres across Greater Manchester and a little bit further afield. As we say, we don't want to miss some of those great theatres out. And we are here, of course, every week telling you about theatre across our fair city. And if you want to find out any more about productions, there is a great place to go. Head to I Love Manchester's website for more information on that and where to go if you want to eat, drink, or just have fun in Manchester. And every week as well, as I say, we are here in the Hive at 8 o'clock with our online theatre magazine show. You can also catch us on socials if you don't catch us already. If you're not following us, give us a follow. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Live in the Hive 21. Do spread the word if you've enjoyed the show, and I will be back next week here on Live in the Hive with more interviews, more news, and more entertainment. I'll see you next week. Have a great one. Bye for now.